Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Let's start a playthrough of Armored Core 6. I was dying to play this game ever since I saw the first trailer. Comments will be off because I want to enjoy the story. Apparently it's pretty good. And I want to enjoy it in the way the developers intended it by playing the game.
Handler Walter.
You have to play through 3 times and make like different choices in order to see all the story, so unfortunately comments are not going to be on until my 4th playthrough. I don't know if there's even going to be a 4th playthrough. It sucks, but it's the compromise that I have to make in order to keep making videos.
Time to get to work, 621.
But I can give some background on me. I have a casual bit of experience with mech games. The first I ever played was Mech Warrior 2 in 1995 on MS-DOS. And actually I see some similarities with that and Armored Core 6. I love that game. And the mood felt very dystopian, kind of like this game. And the mech, it felt so clunky, but like in a good way. It really felt like we were piloting a walking tank. Battle was thrilling, and to take damage and have different parts of your mech lose functionality as you were going was crazy. The last mech game that I played was Hideo Kojima's Zone of the Enders on PlayStation 2 in 2003, which was much slicker. Your mech was pretty much always floating or flying and had infinite ammo. I love that game too, but even there, I could feel the limits of the technology restraining what the game design could allow the mech to do. Not to say that Armored Core isn't restrained, but here it's very purposeful. It's in the name of gameplay and mechanics, like the stagger meter, like the energy gauge. But yeah, don't know anything about Armored Core, but I love FromSoft games, so I was very excited to pick this up.
Your position is grid 135.
And then I'm going to play this with the English voice, because FromSoft has good English voice acting.
There's a catapult ahead. Use it
I
to
don't know
close
how
the
they do
gap.
it, but I think it's about direction and then casting.
Main system activating combat mode.
I don't know if people in FromSoft, you know, speak English, know what makes a good English voice or a good performance, but yeah, they do a good job. But one thing that kind of surprised me about looking at early gameplay was like how kind of fast and nimble these mechs can be. And that's because they got like boosters all over them to move. There we go. And I know that most people, when they picked up with this game, they were like, oh, this is so intuitive, it just feels right. But I was having a lot of problems, actually. I had to change some of the controls because pressing down on L3, the left stick, will make you do a super boost forward. And what I was doing is that I was like grasping the controller too hard, and so I would be hitting it by accident all the time and then shooting myself right into the danger zone and dying, and that was super frustrating. I changed it to like operating doors and stuff, so nothing will happen if I hit it by accident during battle, and then I set that super boost to circle, and I turned off the regular boost. I don't think I need that button. Also, I was having trouble with lock-on. In Dark Souls, it's a hard lock-on. You just hit it once and it's set forever. But in Armored Core 6, it seemed very finicky, and I was losing it, you know, all the time. But after beating the first boss, and then looking at the tutorial, it explains that you shouldn't touch the right stick after setting the hard lock, otherwise it breaks the lock. And I was like, Adam Sandler and the Wedding Singer, things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday. So yeah, I did struggle with the boss a bit. I was spending so much time just kind of moving the camera just to keep looking at the boss. Alright, but there I was able to do the multi-lock-on, and then the different missiles took down lots of the little guys, so that's fun. I should remember to do that. And then the AC, the armored core that we're using here, it's the same for everyone, this kind of first level, kind of the tutorial level. But we have kind of a rifle on the right arm, we have a missile launcher on the right shoulder, on the left arm we have a blade weapon, short range, and then on the left shoulder we have nothing. I'll have to fill that in later. Oh, right, and then all the menus and text are in Japanese. This is what I get for playing the Japanese disc. But yeah, unlike the Switch, it's not region-free. And then FromSoft games, they have, I guess you could call it poor support for different languages and stuff. Most of the other games, you know, I can change the menus, like Near Replicant, very friendly there. But yeah, not FromSoft games. But, as I understand it, most of the story is going to be through dialogue. So as long as I am listening to the dialogue, then I'll be able to pick up on the story.
at 30%. 2 repair kits remaining.
And then, as I've been doing with most of my games lately, I've been taking the volume on the voice, putting it to max, and then, like music and sound effects, taking it to like 3 out of 10 or something. But yeah, the music really struck me too, even just looking at the trailers. I'm a fan of electronic music. I like ambient music too. So I had that going for me. But listening to like the tone that was set by the music, it was very dramatic, but also like kind of hopeless and dystopian, kind of beautiful and ugly at the same time. I think it could also work as a soundtrack to like Warhammer 40k. In battle, I'm not really picking up on the music, but for certain swells and stuff, you know, adds to the drama. It's very cool.
Access the catapult.
Alright, then here we see the contaminated city, I think it was, from afar. That sounds like a Dark Souls name. And then I see this for every FromSoft game. But I hear criticism about how the weapons aren't balanced. And I'm like, are people who are making this criticism, do they actually want what they are asking for? Because what that would mean would be like, you know, all weapons are equally powerful, and equally easy to use, and equally good in all situations. And so building your core would just come down to like what you think looks good. And that would take away a lot of the gameplay.
Enough chat, back to work. Scavenge the AC Rex ahead and find a valid mercenary license. We're illegals here.
But I think part of where that criticism comes from is that like using some weapons or some builds makes the game easier, while using others makes the game harder. But that kind of connects to another misconception about From Software games, which is that there's one difficulty level, and it's Nightmare, and only hardcore masochist players can beat them. But you can affect the difficulty of the game by using different builds, and that's where the variety of weapons and builds comes into play. And it's kind of like two misconceptions that are related together, which actually work together to make the game work.
Picking up signals from AC Rex. Follow the markers.
So no, the weapons are not quote-unquote balanced, but it's because it can open up the game to more kinds of players than just hardcore masochists. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to struggle more with this game than I am Dark Souls games, because it is more action. It is more of an action game. And it turns out there's a lot to think about at the same time. But you got like 4 different weapons, you know? Got 4 different fingers on the triggers to control them. And we got the stagger bar, and we got the enemy stagger bar, and we got the energy gauge. We got ammunition, we got a reload. We got HP, of course. We have single targets and multiple targets. And then we have altitude. Most of Dark Souls is done just on a 2D plane. You know, we're running around on the ground. Once in a while we use a bow, you know, to hit people from higher or below us. But for the most part, yeah, it's on the ground. But Armored Core is very much a 3D game, so yeah. This is straining the limits of my cognitive capability. We'll see if I can get used to it. But there too, I think you can mess with the complexity of the game by using, you know, same weapons in both hands or on both shoulders, and just using them together.
This one's already expired.
Exclusively. So it's kind of like having just 2 weapons, but like a powerful, more powerful version of it with more ammo. So yeah, there too, it's up to the user what kind of experience they want. Alright, so I'm looking for a ID, and then I came out of here,
What?
and we see this big-ass helicopter. I know what this is by looking at some playthroughs. I've only looked at the first level. But when Armored Core was released on Japanese Twitter,
The PCA's planetside
first helicopter boss was trending on Twitter.
We don't want them breathing
So a lot of
down
people
our
were
necks.
struggling with it, yeah. I feel like this helicopter boss is more difficult than Udix Gundyr from Dark Souls 3 or the fat demon boss from Dark Souls 1. But wasn't helped by the fact that I was super boosting into it all the time by accident.
Looks like they've got shields. I think you've got a blade.
My image of mechs is that they're more about sort of like medium or long-range combat. That came from Mech Warrior. There wasn't really a short-range option, if I remember right. But Zone of the Enders did have some short-range stuff. It might have also had a sword. I can't remember.
Easily traced. Forget it.
But yeah, I feel like the sword is very powerful in this game, so as much as possible I'm going to try to get close and use that. And it also doesn't use ammunition. In a later stage, I ran out of ammunition and I was shocked. And I was trying to get through it with just a laser sword. That didn't work out, yeah. But yeah, so mobile on this thing. Very cool. The gliding along the ground is very cool.
AP at 50%.
I also really like, you know, looking at the buildings and stuff, or the freeways or whatever. Everything looks small. Which is how it should be, because, you know, we're dozens of feet tall, this Armored Core.
Outnumbered 6-1.
But yeah, I just love how the world is depicted
Right
here.
shoulder ammunition at 50%.
Alright, one last location to check for a ID. We don't have any at the moment. But the handler, Walter, is telling us that they're all no good for various reasons.
I've picked up one more wreck, 621. Transmitting marker. Go and check it out.
Alright, and then handler Walter tells us that there's one other location we can check. And then I also kind of was surprised by like how high the core can jump. I mean, this thing has got to weigh a bunch of tons. But yeah, it can jump. The mechs in Mech Warrior, they can't jump at all. Although, no, I remember there was a Death from Above where you kind of jump into the air a little bit and then you land on another mech and kill it.
Vertical catapult to get some altitude.
Zone of the Enders, there wasn't a lot of jumping in there because you're flying all the time anyway. Alright, speaking of jumping, we got a launch pad here. One thing that's different about Mech Warrior and this is that it doesn't matter how much damage you take in Armored Core, or in this game, it'll still be fully functional. Like you won't, you know, have an arm blown off or something. You won't lose booster capability by taking damage, so that's nice. Okay, one last place we can check for an ID.
Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign.
And this one looks usable.
Looks like they were
But
on to you
here
after
comes the
all.
helicopter boss. Oh my god.
To pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it
But
out now,
super
they
cool
won't have enough
boss.
to ID you.
It's very scary. Very cool.
We got what we came for. Tie up the loose
And the
ends.
fact that it can fly above you, you know? That's pretty crazy too.
One repair kit.
But it
remaining.
seems to have two main attacks, like a machine gun and then like a barrage of missiles. I quickly learned that the missiles are very damaging, so... if possible, I want to get a building in between me and the boss when it is firing missiles.
Mobility in the air
But even then, it can kind of go around the building and hit me, so I have to be
AP
picky
at
about my
50%.
placement. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get close and use the sword, because that seems very damaging. Not close enough there, though. Ooh. So, I have that red bar. That was my stagger bar filled. I took a bunch of hits, stagger bar fills, and then I can't move. I can't heal either. But we can do the same to the boss. We can hit it with like missiles or whatever. And then if it's in stagger, then it will take extra damage, and that would be a good time to use the blade attack. But yes, I am struggling with the lock. It's also crappy when the boss is behind the outside of the bounds of the arena. I can't reach it with the blade. Alright. So we died there. Another half dozen tries, and then I got this clear. We'll just skip ahead to this. But yeah, in FromSoft games, if I can beat a boss within the first 10 tries, then I'm satisfied.
What? Looks like they were on to you after all.
Alright, let's see what I do different here.
To pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now and they won't have enough to ID you.
Okay, getting close, alright. Shooting missiles and stuff as I approach.
Tie up the loose
And
ends.
take away a little bit of HP there.
Use your mobility.
And stagger bar is almost full on the boss. And then when I see those little red reticles appear, I know that missiles are coming, so I want to get behind a building. Okay, a little more damage there, that's good. Find a building, wait for the missiles to come out. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm not really taking advantage of the stagger bar here, but I'll play the long game. Okay, so there I used the super boost on purpose. Alright, and I still got 3 repair kits. We used one there, but yeah, that's pretty good. Half the boss's HP. Still got 2 repair kits. And struggling with the lock-on. But it seems that there's a game mode or a way to play the game where it's just all manual aim. I can't imagine doing that, but... yeah, not close enough to use the sword there. But we can do some missiles and rifle to fill the stagger bar a little bit. It will be interesting to come back to this boss with a different build. And then the bottom bar there, the gray one, that's my energy. If that empties, then I can't jump or boost anymore. So yeah, if that turns red, then I gotta get behind another building again. Okay, finally, do some damage. Ah, I'm out of energy again. I stagger there, but still maintain altitude. And I can use the sword for more damage. There it goes. Alright. Okay, that was pretty thrilling. Cool music, too. My god. Alright, that's going to be the end of this video. I don't know how much I'm going to show of this game. I'll try to show all the bosses, and I might show some other non-boss missions, and maybe some building as well. Okay, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.